Whispers on the wind, names carved in the bark, echoes in the pines, voices light in the dark. Posters on posts, prayers folding in hands, a digital trail, footprints in the sand. They ain't gone, no, not lost to the breeze. We stitched the stories in the roots of these trees. Hey,
we started a game we never got to finish.
raise a lantern,
I was just fooling about.
every face, every name
I
we
wasn't.
turn. A word apart, yeah, we all align, searching together through echoes in the pines. Searching together through echoes in the pines. Threads on the feet, hearts beating as one. Sister to brother, every daughter, every son. Screens glowing blue, fingers scrolling for hope. Holding on tight to another land rope. Voices calling louder than the night. Through the stillness, we ignite the fight. Raise a lantern, let it burn. Every face, every name we turn. A world apart, yeah, we all align. Searching together through echoes in the pines. Searching together through echoes in the pines.
Are you ready?
Unsolved in Carolina, headlights on the pines, names on the wind, never leave my mind. Hey, dirt road dead end, red tape, white tin, mama on the tailgate, praying it's pretend. Posters on the light pole, rain running in. One more face in the time that we blink. They say, boy, keep quiet, that's the way that it goes. Locals keep an eye out for when the case blows.
Unsolved cases in Carolina, missing, lost, stolen, traffic. Souls, where did they go? Where did they go? The good old boys live by their rules,
But I stay on my toes to bring you the news. I bring you the truth till the cases are closed.
trailer park, promised girl left work late. Clocked out, clock stopped at the edge of the gate. Sheriff at his desk, detectives in the street, gathering up the clues, there is no time to wait.
Names in a notebook, a whiteboard of marks, my red string lines connecting all the dots. We share the cases so the story takes flight. Locals will never give up like a prayer in the night.
Unsolved cases in Carolina, missing, lost, stolen, traffic. Souls, where did they go? Where did they go?
The good old boys live by their rules, but I stay on my toes to bring you the news. I bring you the truth till the cases are closed.
If you hear their names in the rustle of the trees, we're still calling. We're still calling. Oh, if a photograph fades on a window of a store, we're still looking. We're still looking for more. Unsolved cases in Carolina, missing, lost, stolen, traffic. Souls, where did they go? Where did they go?
Good old boys live by their rules, but I stay
Welcome, everyone. My name is Dutchess, and this is where we talk about true crime, missing cases, and other adventures. So I appreciate you guys choosing to spend your time here while we look at an unsolved case out of Hoke County, North Carolina. Thanks for joining me. Let me see who we have over here in the chat. I'm going to say hey to everybody, and then I'm going to get started. And I want to also make sure that if this is a sensitive subject, we are going to be talking about some sensitive subjects with tonight's cold case homicide. It does involve a child, and there are some things surrounding this case that may be upsetting to certain viewers. And there's people that are sensitive to these types of topics. And one of those people is my husband. It upsets him so bad. So he might pop in and say hey, but he'll probably pop right back out because it really just upsets him so much. So if this is one of those cases for you, and you're not able to join us for this stream, we want you to take care of your mental health, and maybe you can join us again for the next stream. But I do want to let you guys know that, and I do appreciate you guys choosing to spend your time here. So thank you for being here, Rubber Ramada, and welcoming everybody in. I hope you're doing well. Shauna, M2, it's so good to see you. Thank you for being here. Hope everybody is doing well and staying warm in preparation for this winter storm we're getting ready to have across the United States. Hey, Dreams Escape. So good to see you. Thank you for being here. Hope everybody's doing well. And remember to hit the like button and make sure you're subbed up and got your notifications turned on so that you can catch all of these future live streams and videos that I might drop here. It's good to see you, and hope everything is going well with you. I know you are still on family time, so I appreciate you being here and listening. Hey, Elizabeth Lander. Elizabeth Lander is in the building. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good. Hey, Aunt Kathy. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. Hey, Matthew 256. So glad to see you. I hope you're doing well. Hey, babe. I know you won't be able to stay long because these cases really bother him, but I do appreciate you coming by and saying hey to everybody. Some of these cases are really difficult, but in the case of Brittany Locklear out of Hoke County, North Carolina, this young baby girl, she didn't get her case closed. There was never any answers in this case. And so, this is a very important case that we're going to talk about. But before I jump in, just remember, y'all, my weatherman said, freezing rain versus sleet. What's the difference? I tried to explain this to my hubby earlier. When we took the motorcycle out, I was explaining to him the difference between freezing rain and sleet. Freezing rain is like a glazed donut. It clings, bad for power outages. And sleet is like the pings. That's like a sprinkled covered donut. It's worse for the roads. And when you put those two things together, it is not good. Now, I've had a lot of people to ask me, hey, I heard that you guys in South Carolina might actually be getting some of this stuff. Well, it turns out this is the forecast today for Horry and Georgetown counties, and it looks like here you can see I'm up here in North Myrtle, Little River. I'm right up here on the waterway. It looks like that we are going to get just a minor glaze on the cars, ice in trees, bridges, overpasses, icy, isolated power outages are possible. I really, it's really hard to say, but it doesn't look like we're possibly going to get very much at all. I really hope that it stays consistent with that. It does look like our temperatures, here you can see Saturday morning, there's going to be that small chance of sleet and rain, and then Saturday afternoon it's going to be 40% chance of sleet and freezing rain, mainly late. Those temperatures are going to fall below 32. And then, of course, into Saturday night, that increase of sleet and freezing rain jumps up to 80%, and the temps are going to fall into the 20s. And this is when driving becomes more hazardous. So if you guys have to be out there on the road, whether it's for your jobs or you have to go to the store, if you have to run out and you're checking on your neighbors, please be very careful. No matter if you're in South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, wherever you are and you're going to be affected by this storm, please make sure you take care of yourself because your family needs you. So it looks like Sunday, we're still going to have about an 80% chance. Mainly freezing rain is likely. Sunday afternoon, 60% chance. And then Sunday night, it's still going to be a 60% chance of freezing rain, sleet, and rain inland. It does look like inland, it's going to be dropping down into the teens. And now where my mom lives in North Carolina, it's actually going to be getting into the single digits. They are going to be expecting some serious weather up where she's at. And so I told her, I was like, you better make sure that you stay indoors. So you guys make sure you take care of yourself out there. Oh, thank you, Aunt Kathy. I appreciate you being here. So we're going to jump right into this case, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about Brittany Locklear's story. This is a picture of Brittany. This is, of course, a picture from my thumbnail, but this is the main picture that we have of Brittany right here. She is a beautiful little girl, and I'm going to share some information about her case. We're going to look at the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation. We're also going to look at the unsolved cases out of Hoke County. And we're also going to watch a couple of videos that the news did about Brittany on January the 7th. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Brittany Locklear's case, but not before we have to play our little warning video, because listen, if this is not the video for you, I want you guys to know that now up front, because listen, I know sometimes these things can get stressful. So I'm going to play my little video just to let you guys know that there may be some things in here that are a trigger warning. So I want to give you guys that advance notice now.
Warning. This episode contains content that may be disturbing or sensitive to listeners. Discretion is advised.
Okay. All right. Looks like we've got our trigger warning out of the way. So we're going to get started. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about this case. And let me put up a picture of Brittany while we just kind of get into some of the details about how this case first began. So here we have another picture of Brittany and her mom. And this is Brittany Lynn Locklear. And this case started on January the 7th of 1998. And this is out of Hoke County, North Carolina, in a city of Bowmore. If anybody is familiar with Hoke County is one of the counties that borders Cumberland County, and a shared city between both of these counties is Fayetteville, North Carolina. And this unsolved homicide actually took place near Bowmore, which is just on the outskirts of Fayetteville, near Rayford, North Carolina, for all my North Carolina people. This is, again, in North Carolina in the United States of America, for all of my people that are listening from outside the country. Hey, Cash, it's good to see you. Thanks for being here. On the morning of Wednesday, January the 7th of 1998, as Brittany stood waiting for the school bus to pick her up, 5-year-old Brittany Locklear was abducted from outside her home on Gainey Road in Hoke County, North Carolina. Now, after an extensive search, her body was located the following day in a drainage ditch next to a farm road, approximately 3 miles from where Brittany was last seen. This case is so very sad, y'all. So very sad. And I noticed that Hoke County had put out more information, that they were still looking for information about the person who is responsible for this series of events that happened that day. And I feel like it's very important to keep Brittany's face and information out there, because someone needs to come forward, because someone knows exactly what happened to this young girl. And that's why we're here, and that's what we're going to talk about. So I'm going to share my screen. I want you guys to be sure you look at all of these different sites. This is the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation that we're looking at here. And here you can see a picture of Brittany. And she has such a sweet face. Brittany is an Indigenous American. She is Lumbee Indian. And a lot of cases that come out of Hoke County, Cumberland County, Moore County, a lot of Indigenous people live in these areas. There is a high crime rate in these areas. And oftentimes, unfortunately, when Indigenous people go missing, there aren't any answers. And this young child lost her life waiting for the bus. And the person responsible has still not been found. And that bothers me so very badly. What went wrong in this investigation? That it has been since January 7th of 1998 that this crime has not been solved. Now, according to the State Bureau of Investigation, physical evidence, and like I said, trigger warning. Hey, Odin girl, it's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Hey, Paula, hope you're well. Thanks for joining us. And hey, Cindy from sunny South Florida. I sure do wish I was in sunny South Florida right now. It's good to see you. Now, trigger warning, because the physical evidence from both the abduction site and the body recovery site were sent to the SBI laboratory for processing. And one focus of the investigation was the description of the vehicle driven by the suspect. After reviewing the information received and re-interviewing witnesses, investigators believe the offender was driving a full-size pickup truck of unknown color. Hundreds of leads provided by the public have been investigated, but police continue to seek the public's help for information, however seemingly unimportant or already reported, which may identify the person or persons responsible for the abduction and murder of Brittany Lynn Locklear. Now, if you have information about this case or any unsolved case in North Carolina, please contact the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation at 1-800-334-3000. There is a $20,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for the murder of Brittany Lynn Locklear. And this is from Director Chip Hawley. He has been over the State Bureau of Investigation for quite some time, and this is still listed actively on that North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation. Hey, Laughing Heart. Hey, Steph, Annie. It's so good to see you guys. Thank you for being here. Let me get back over here because there's more to this. There's more to this, sadly. There's other things that I want you to know about this case. Let's see if we can get our picture put back up here of Brittany. Now, Brittany's mom, Connie Locklear Chavis, she was the one who was out there with Brittany while she waited for the school bus. Brittany's mom said it was a normal school morning. Her backpack was ready. Her shoes were on. Her mom stood with her for a few moments. But Connie had to go to the restroom. And so she stepped back inside the house briefly to use the restroom while Brittany was waiting on the bus out in front of the house. And when she came back outside, Brittany was gone. Her mother, Connie, immediately began searching the area, calling out for her daughter. And then she rushed to West Hoke Elementary School, hoping that Brittany had simply boarded the bus. School officials told her that Brittany never arrived on the bus. That moment would mark the beginning of a mystery that still has no ending more than 2 decades later. Neighbors later told law enforcement that they saw a pickup truck stop suddenly near Brittany and Connie's home. A man exited the vehicle, took Brittany, and drove away. Yet to this day, they cannot give a description of the vehicle or the color of the vehicle. Can you make that make sense? They saw a pickup, they saw a man jump out of the vehicle and grab this 5-year-old child, but they can't remember what kind of pickup truck it was or what color this pickup truck was. It doesn't make any sense to me. Early reports describe the truck as brown and that the driver was a white male, though investigators later said the exact details of that vehicle could never be confirmed. And I find that so strange. Now, by mid-morning, every deputy in Hoke County was searching. There were roadblocks that had been established and set up. Hundreds of residents, along with county, state, and federal agencies, had joined the effort, and that included the FBI. That same day, Brittany's backpack, overalls, and shoes were found along Ryan McBride Road, which is about 2 miles from her home. The following day, on January the 8th of 1998, a body was found as searchers located and identified that it was Brittany, which was about 3 miles from where she was last seen. The case has become one of the most heartbreaking unsolved investigations in Hoke County, North Carolina history. Brittany was a kindergartner at West Hoke Elementary. Teachers and classmates called her Little Brittany because she was the smallest child in most of the school. She hugged everyone. She loved church. She loved school, according to her family. Her mother described her as a special, independent, and full of life child. Brittany dreamed of flying airplanes one day and talked often about being in the sky. The loss of Brittany Locklear has shaken this entire community. Parents began walking their children to their bus stops. Neighbors began to check on each other. Fear spread across the county, and many still remember exactly where they were when they heard the news. Anyone with information is also urged to contact Detective Jay Tyner. He is the Hoke County Sheriff at 910-875-5111. Anonymous tips can go to the North Carolina SBI, which we just looked at their website. And all of these websites are in the description of this video if you want to go back and take a look at them later and read them for yourself. Someone knows something. Even the smallest detail could help bring answers after all of these years. Brittany deserves justice. Her family deserves justice. They deserve peace, and her community will never forget. It's such a heartbreaking case that has never been solved. So I have a quick video that I want to share with you guys because I want you to hear what this actually sounds like in 2026, because there was an article that was actually put out in the news for the anniversary this year by CBS 17. And there is just a short video, but I think that it is very important that we listen to this information for educational purposes, because it's important to also hear what the news is saying about these cold cases, because we have so many here in the Carolinas that are unsolved. What is it going to take to get people to come forward to, if you see something, say something? Because I'm telling you, there are people out there that know things, but a lot of people are scared to go to the police. They are scared that it's going to come back on them if they say what they know or what they saw. And that's a scary thought, because they believe harm may actually come back to them. That's rooted deep here in the South. I hate to say that, but I was born and raised here. I know how it is. Some people, they don't mess with the law for that very reason. And when these families don't get closure, there can be no justice. So this video, again, is by CBS 17 News, and let's hear what they have to say. Get my volume fixed here. All right. Y'all ready to rock and roll? Let's go.
Years since 5-year-old Brittany Locklear was kidnapped outside of her home in Rayford.
She was found dead the next day, and her murder remains unsolved. CBS 17's Shanila Kabir spoke to the family, who is still hoping justice will be served.
Brianna Chavis was only 18 months old when her older sister Brittany was kidnapped and killed. She still holds on to the foggy memories of her.
I was not even 2 years old. I actually had started walking, and I was actually standing in the front door, actually waiting on her to come through the doors, and I was standing. So she was very excited. She was like, "Oh my God, my sissy, she's walking. She's finally walking."
5-year-old Brittany Locklear was last seen waiting for the school bus at the end of her driveway on Gainey Road, January 7th, 1998. She never made it to school. Her body was found in a drainage ditch just 3 miles away from her home the following day.
I fight demons every day because it's not.
That's tough. That's tough to hear, because I can't imagine having a sibling that went missing as a small child and then was murdered and then not ever finding the answer. I think that would haunt me.
Not fair. When she passed, sorry, I don't want to cry. That left me being the only child.
That is heartbreaking. That right there is completely heartbreaking. I'm going to rewind that so you guys can hear that again. It is, Cash.
When she passed, sorry, I don't want to cry. That left me being the only child. And it's rough.
Hoke County Sheriff's Office Captain of Investigations Daniel Shipp says the Locklear abduction still haunts the small town of Rayford.
That'll always be the end goal until we can make that faithful phone call to the family and let them know that we have completed our job and provided them closure.
He says the case remains active and they still get calls daily.
Anytime we get a phone call or anything that comes back of evidentiary value from the labs, we always are reapproaching those cases, whether it's today, tomorrow, we get a lead 6 months from now.
The family wanting justice more than 25 years later.
Wow. Did you guys see that tattoo that she got? Let me see if I can rewind it a little
more
bit.
than 25 years later.
I just want it solved.
I just want it to stop so I can go back and stop it on that. Hang on a second.
Tomorrow, we get a lead 6 months from now.
The family wanting justice more than.
See, that's tough. That is. I can't imagine what she must be feeling like. I just pray that they get the answers that they deserve.
And 25 years later.
I just want it solved. Before I die, I want it solved.
Chavis says there's a $20,000 reward for anyone with information that can close this case. I'm Sheneela Kabir, CBS 17 News.
$20,000 reward. How these cases go and not be solved, I don't have the answer. But I do believe that it is critical to know that when I was researching into this case to get more information about what had transpired and come of the information that they obtained in this investigation. Neighbors had told law enforcement officers that a pickup slammed on the brakes and wheeled into the driveway at 202 Three Guys Lane near the Balmore community. And of course, they said a man got out of that driver's side, grabbed Brittany, and sped away with the child in the truck. And of course, there was the whole thing about, was the pickup brown? Was it not brown? They never did give any details of what type of pickup truck this was. But I can say that investigators did eventually release that this child had been essayed and she had drowned in that roadside ditch. And no one has ever been arrested and convicted in this girl's kidnapping, rape, and murder. Who is going to do these heinous crimes to a 5-year-old waiting at a bus stop to get on the school bus to go to kindergarten at 7 o'clock in the morning? I agree with that, Odin girl. I have faint memories about certain things, but they're very faint. And I'm 52, and maybe that's why they're faint, is because I'm 52. But, her sister, is 49. So, she was older but it's hard to say. It's hard to say. That hurts my soul to think that somebody would harm a child in such a way. I mean, look at this precious baby. How can someone be so cruel to do this? My question is, in 1998, did they not collect DNA? Did they not put it in the NCIC? I mean, surely if they knew that she was SA'd, that they got DNA, right? I hope to God that they did what they were supposed to do and did this child and her family justice by collecting the proper DNA, because even if they were not able to do the testing, surely they prepared for a possible future where there would be a time where there could be DNA testing. Because that would indeed, I can't tell you how many cold cases I have seen get solved because they did collect forensic evidence from the body, from the crime scene, from belongings, from their clothes, and they kept it. And then later, that was entered into a database so that DNA testing could be done, so that they could identify a person that could be connected. I do believe that, Elizabeth. I do believe that someone knows something. And this is classified as a cold case, Cash, yes. A cold case kidnapping, rape, and homicide. This poor child, there is no telling what she went through. And then she drowned in a ditch full of water and was found 3 miles from her home. Let's go over and take a look and see what Hoke County has on file for Brittany's case. This is Unsolved Cases, and this is on the Hoke County, North Carolina website. And that link is also in the description. And under Unsolved Cases right here, it says the Hoke County Sheriff's Office instituted the Unsolved Homicide Division in 2023 as a means of diligently working towards a resolution for all of its cases. And it talks about how you can look up all of these. And there is a lot of cold cases, y'all, in this area, a lot of homicides. In fact, I just shared a couple very recently. And this is the area where if you have to report anything, these are the places where you can go and seek out that information. Here we got Roger Jerome Chambers. We got Ramonte Pagan. Yeah, there's lots of cold cases. I mean, you can go through so many cold cases. This is the site where you'll want to go to. So if we go, I'm looking for let's see if anything comes up about nope, not on that page. It's not. Let me go back over here and look for it again. See if I can get it to come up. I've got to go through each one of these. My gosh, there is so many. So many I can't tell you. I'm going through. Here we go right here. Let me share my screen. All right, so here we are on the website, and you can see here, which it cuts it off. I don't like the way that this website works right here, but you can see we've got missing persons right here on the left, and then we've got cold cases on the right. And here we've got Brittany Lynn Locklear. And this is all the information that it has, but it has all of their homicide cases and their missing person cases. And if you look at these dots here at the bottom, this is how many open homicides they have. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They have 15 cases, 15 homicide cases that are unsolved currently in this county alone. Y'all, that is a lot. That is a lot. It's more than you think, for sure. Now, I know back in 2006, the U.S. Justice Department actually looked into the Brittany Locklear case because Hoke County authorities wanted to get some extra help. 4 years after this case, you know, they were trying to get all of these things established. They needed help from the state and federal agents. So the sheriff back then, which was Jim Davis, had not found Locklear's killer. So he turned the case over to the U.S. Justice Department. They took it to the federal sector in hopes that they may be able to come up with something. But guess what? They met with the federal agencies about, civil rights violations in the case, about, what they needed to do in order to get this case solved. And guess what? The case never got solved. The case has never been solved after all of this time. So I really just don't have the answers as to, what exactly is holding them back. But I have a feeling that maybe there's information that was given that couldn't be corroborated. Maybe there was evidence that was submitted, but it was considered heresy, or it couldn't be proven, couldn't be timelined appropriately, not enough evidence to bring somebody in. And that is why it is so very important that if you have any information about Brittany's case or any case, make sure that you contact the authorities. Don't go to YouTube with it. Don't call your neighbor about it. Don't gossip with your friends in a Facebook group or on Reddit. If you think you have some factual information that can bring closure to these families, please go to the resources. Look it up for your State Bureau of Investigation. Look it up through the FBI. Look it up through the county where the open investigation is occurring. Find out how to make contact. And a lot of times you can reach out to Crime Stoppers in that area so that you can remain anonymous. P3tips.com in most areas in the United States is an app that you can use to submit a tip anonymously. Any information that you might have might help to bring Brittany Locklear's killer into court so that her family can get justice, because that is what's deserved. That's right, any suspects. And Cash says I'm strict, but y'all see why I'm strict. Because there's a right way and a wrong way to do things. Now, the wrong way would be to go live every single day about Brittany Locklear and make up a bunch of misinformation and, drag Brittany's mother into it and her neighbors and go out there and cause a scene and all of this. That is not the answer. The answer is, if you see something, say something. Keep sharing the flyer. Keep sharing the information. Keep Brittany's face out there. Because I assure you, somebody knows something. And hopefully they will come forward and this case can be solved. But it's the same way here in South Carolina. We have a lot of unsolved cases because people don't want to come forward because, well, we've had people actually become unalived because they have snitched on people that have done stuff to other people. You know, that old saying, snitches get stitches. Well, that's why they don't want to come forward. But we encourage people, listen, if you do the right thing. This child suffered. I have no doubt in my mind that this child suffered. This child was kidnapped. This child was raped. This child was probably beaten, left face down in a ditch of water unconscious, and the perpetrator drove off and left her for dead. What kind of human being would actually do this? Her family deserves justice. Her family deserves answers. Paula, there has been hundreds of leads that have been called in over 2 decades, and so far the police have not spoken. If any of the leads point to anything, they are still trying to put this case together. Since 1998, they don't have enough to be able to make it stick. And Kimberly Olive, thank you for being here, they have not stated if there is any people of interest in this particular case. That is one of the main things that I searched out because I wanted to know if there is something that is, that we need to know about, so that we can keep our eyes, peeled to what happened. But while I was researching, I also saw that in 2021, it looks like someone had sent me this to let me know and I really don't know, but they were letting me know that that Brittany's mother passed away. I haven't heard that, but can you imagine not ever finding out what happened to your child? I do hope that is not her, but it does look like her in this obituary. But I can't say for sure, so I don't want to put that out there if I don't really know that that's true or not. But thank you for sending me that. You know who you are. I appreciate the information. I really hope that that is not true. Now we've got to figure out a way to continue to get this information out about these missing kids and about these kids who have been unalived and been victims of these heinous acts. It gives me the chills to think these families are going decades and decades without any answers. I mean, who would Brittany be today? Would she still love going to church? You know, would she have a family of her own? There's no hope of ever getting answers to any of those questions because her life was cut short. Yes, her life was stolen, absolutely. Kimberly, that's a concern that I have because, well, you guys saw that there was like 15 other homicides in that same county that are unsolved. I share missing Robeson County, Cumberland County, Hoke County, Moore County, Scotland County. Those areas, it's rough. It's rough in some of those areas, especially Cumberland, Robeson, and Hoke. There's a lot of crime. There is a lot of things going on in these areas. But we're talking about innocent kids' lives being taken. Like, what kind of people are actually out there? Is this guy out running free? How many other kids has he done this to? Like, these are the things that bother me. When I look into these cases and I look at her precious face, it makes me angry that this family doesn't have any justice. They don't have any answers. When I see her sister talking about how she, feels affected by this and that she just wants this to be solved before she leaves this earth. She wants to know that there has been justice in this case. Will Brittany ever get justice? I pray that she will. It's truly heartbreaking. Now, I have shared this on my Facebook, and I have shared her missing information and her face on my YouTube community wall. If you see information on these cold cases, please share them out. It makes all the difference in the world, and I can't tell you how much it means to the families for you to keep circulating their factual information in order to help bring justice for their families. And if you want to check out any of the information about Brittany Lynn Locklear, the links are in the description of this video. Yes, there is a special place for them. Absolutely. There certainly is. Cash doesn't know enough about the case to speculate yet, but I will. In time. 2 cases you picked up today. Well, Cash, you are going to be busy then. Now, I've been making some missing flyers. We have a lot of people that are missing. So while I'm going to be stuck inside for this ice storm, hubby and I did get out this evening and take the motorcycle out for dinner. It was a beautiful sunset. It was actually almost 70 degrees here in North Myrtle Beach today. We are on the Atlantic Ocean side of the United States, And it was actually a very nice day. But this ice storm that's coming in, all the Arctic air that's being pushed down from Canada and these northern states, like I said earlier in the stream, it looks like we're going to be affected. So maybe we'll take some time Saturday or Sunday and we'll go over some of these missing flyers, because we have a host of young kids and runaways in North and South Carolina. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't like having all of these missing kids out here at any given time, but in these weather conditions, it really concerns me. So, you know, I think it's a really good time for us to share their faces and get their information out there. And maybe if somebody sees them, you know, you guys can alert law enforcement and let them know, because they don't need to be out there. Not in these conditions. It just makes for a very bleak outcome in some of these predicaments. You never know if they're at somebody else's home. Are they out on the street? Are they being trafficked? Are they being harmed? Are they being molested? What are they running away from? Where are these kids going? Remember, if you see something, say something. And Sue, that is very true. Indigenous people get very little coverage and less cooperation due to the council they have to go through to investigate. Bless the families of all the missing with answers. And, you know, with Brittany, and I do believe they're probably part of the Lumbee tribe, because the Lumbee tribe just got recognition federally, finally. And I'm so thankful for that, because I have a few friends that are Lumbee Indian, and they have been fighting tooth and nail to get federally recognized as a tribe. And the Lumbees and the Cherokee Indians, I don't know why y'all were fighting, but y'all need to make peace and not war. But that's how it is. I mean, they go hard for each other. And I'm like, y'all are both indigenous. Like, why can't everybody just get along? Listen, I'm telling you, it's tough out here. But indigenous people do not get their cases shared as often as they should. And I'm hoping that, because the Lumbee Indians, I'm so very thankful that their tribe has been federally recognized. And I hope that the people that have made this possible will also advocate for missing, murdered Indigenous women and men and children, so that their cases will be highlighted and seen more. I have to say that a lot of these police departments in these areas actually do a fantastic job of getting their missing cases shared out there. So I do have to give them some props, guys. But please continue to share these cases out for people like Brittany Locklear and her family. Because the things that have been done to this poor child, and there's been no answer since 1998. We must do better. We must continue to stand with the victims and their families. We must continue to share out factual information. We must continue to ask people, if you see something, say something. We must stand in the gap for these children. Because Brittany cannot speak for herself, but there's somebody out there that knows what happened to her. And if you are the person who did this to Brittany, you should come forward and you should turn yourself in. I appreciate you guys joining me for this Thursday night episode of the Brittany Locklear Homicide out of Hoke County, North Carolina. Please remember to smash that like button. Please remember to turn your notification bell on so you can get notified for all of my future videos, uploads. shorts and my live streams. Next Tuesday, we will be talking about a new Carolina folklore case. And next Thursday, we'll be talking about a new unsolved case here in the Carolinas. And this weekend, I'll be sharing some flyers on a live stream. And hopefully you guys will be able to come over, sit and chill a while. Maybe I'll make us some soup or something. Maybe I'll cook us up something while we're talking about these cases. But I do appreciate you choosing to spend an hour with me on this Thursday night to hear about some factual awareness. Thank you, Cash. I appreciate that so very much. And Betty Boop, welcome so much to the Dutch Bus Squad. We're so glad to have you. It's good to see you. And thank you so much for the email that you sent me too. I hope all went well. Oh, and by the way, here's my picture real quick, just so I can let you know. This was my picture, Cash, tonight. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me take off my background. My background kind of makes it where you can't really see it good. But if I take that off, you can see this is the sunset. This is the overpass by my house. This is the waterway, the Intercoastal Waterway, and this is Archie's right across the water from our house. And this is the overpass, and look at that sunset. Isn't that gorgeous? So yes, we did take Hubby's Harley Davidson out so we could give it a whirl around the neighborhood. And we got the swing bridge here in the background over this gorgeous sunset. And of course, there's me all wrapped up because it was a little chilly out there after the sunset. But I hope you guys stay warm and safe. Remember, if you have a generator, you probably need to take it out. Make sure that you keep it at least 10 to 15 feet away from your house so your house doesn't catch on fire. There's going to be possible power outages. Make sure you plan on what to do to stay warm. Bundle up. And we're going to lock in for this ice weather weekend. Stay safe. Stay off the roads if you can, my friends. I don't want to get bad news about any one of y'all being in an accident, because when these roads are treacherous, we don't even have salt trucks down here. So I guess they're going to just get some sand off the beach and throw it on the roads, because that's pretty much our go-to since we don't have salt trucks down here. But that's not really probably going to do much for the ice. But I do appreciate y'all joining me on this Thursday night. And I will see y'all this weekend. And we'll maybe have a cook and chat and share some cases and talk about all the things. So have a wonderful night. And just remember, if you see something, say something. Bye, guys. Take care.